Good morning, good afternoon, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you want to call yourself, people. It's your girl Tina Berry here with Fly Nubian Queen. For melanated women like me and you, subscribe to Fly Nubian Queen. Hit the like button on Facebook. Hit the notification bell on YouTube. Subscribe. Text Queens to 31996. Again, it's the Queen, Straight Note Chaser with the Queen. That's my YouTube page. And I'm here to talk about this stimulus bill. I'm going to read you for those that really don't know what's going on in this bill. I'm going to read you some of the key points that's in this bill, the stimulus bill. And people, you will see that the Democrats and the Republicans are a two-headed snake. When the Republicans put the bill up, the Democrats were like, no, they didn't give the American people anything. I think it was like $600 per person or $1,000, and it gave like 500 billion to the corporations, right? So no, that bill didn't pass, and they turned right back around and passed this other bill. The Democrats they come up with a stimulus bill, and this bill basically does the same thing. It's more money. It's the biggest stimulus package ever given in America. 2 trillion. And the only thing we still got as American people is $1,000. That don't even pay my rent, your rent, and anybody else's rent. We should all be mad. Black, white, Chinese, everybody in America should be mad, because this is going to be the second time during this president's term that the American people are robbed. Because all of this stimulus and all of this that is our money. That is the money that is coming out of your paycheck. That is your tax money. They collect like $17 trillion in taxes, and we appoint these people to do right by this money. And they are making sure that you are poor enough to continue to work for corporations that they claim they're not bailing out. The other bill that the Republicans, they're just straightforward with giving them the money. But the Democrat, this bill, all it did was turn around and give the same billionaires the same billions and trillions of dollars, just in another way, through the companies that they own. Who owns the hospital, people? They said there's some state-owned hospitals, okay, and there's some private-owned hospitals. They already just got this tax break that Trump gave them. They robbed us blind with that. And then this stimulus bill, they're robbing us blind, and then they're giving us pennies and then telling us that we can I think we have to pay taxes on it. But they act like they're giving Americans something. America says that we are a first world country. We are basically a slave third world country in disguise. And this is for everybody. Melanated, Caucasian, Asian, whatever. America has been lying to us, and it's time that if we don't stop killing each other and destroying each other and playing their game, why the elite sit back. And when I say the elite, because there's so many black people in white supremacist skin, black skin, in white supremacist minds, that right now the whole point is still that the black people are going to get it the worst. But come on, people in America, $1,000, and they're taking trillions from all of us. We can't afford to let racism keep ruling, because eventually it's affecting all of us, and that's the whole point of destroying racism. Because when you think it's okay to give another race crumbs, then they will justify giving everybody crumbs when the time comes, and that's what's going on now. Wake up. I'm gonna read you this basically another way that they robbed us with paper. First, it was the tax bill that Trump passed. Now it's this stimulus bill. Look at everything. We need to really take time and look at this bullshit. The bill is include direct payments to Americans. Woo! While other countries they're getting their rent paid, their light bill paid, all utilities, everything is shut down, and their governments are giving them at least $8,000, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month. Look it up. All other countries are taking care of their people. America never takes care of their people. They've never taken care of the slaves that help. They never take care of our veterans, and they don't take care of the American citizens. It's just basically they throw scraps out there, and it's a free for all, and we kill ourselves trying to get the scraps while they're eating the meat. It makes no sense that we are in America and we believe that we're being treated right when we're not. Listen to this. Americans will receive a one-time direct deposit. You can't see it. Of $1,200 up to. That means you ain't even really getting it. How many times are we going to keep letting these rich billionaires rob us for our tax money with they already got billions. So this basically is giving them back billions. Why they give us what a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a billion? 1,000 up to not you won't it's not guaranteed up to 1,000, and then they leave other Americans out. Yes, other white corporate white small businesses and other people should be mad because even though you get even though you get there in this stimulus package there's loans, but why do you need to be loaned your own money? Everybody should be mad. They're giving themselves billions and loaning us our own tax money. They're giving us $1,000 up to 1,000. So those that don't make, if you make over 75,000, you can't even get that. Ain't it bullshit? That's how much they take out in your taxes. People, even if you work at McDonald's or the lowest job, look at your tax money. By the end of the year, you paid yourself 1,000. They're robbing the sick while they're sick. They're robbing their own American people. Come on. Every other country has health care. They're getting taken care of. They're not stressing. They're handling this virus professionally. They're taking care of people. They're not worrying about their pockets. Look at America. They're lying to us. They're letting the virus spread. They're trying to find any way to leave businesses open so they can get more money. They're creating bullshit stimulus bills so that they can rob us again. Come on. Then couples can get up to $2,400 for two people, and then $500 each child. So basically, this stimulus plan that is basically $1 trillion more than the first one. All it's more money, but it's still no more money is going to us as Americans. Black, white, Chinese, whatever you are in America, consider yourself in America, you're being robbed. And we should all come together and say something about this. And this is a petition. How are we gonna let them rob the treasury with the stimulus package that he did, that Trump did, the tax package? He gave billions of dollars. And now they're robbing us again and giving us $1,000. It's basically like shut up money, like you're some crackhead, something that you don't know no better. And then look where the billions start going. You got the use of a retirement fund because you get to withdraw earlier, 10% early withdrawal with distributions up to 100,000. It's the same banks that own this money. Now, all of this money that's being controlled, understand it's the same banks. Even if we get 10% early withdrawal, it's still the same fucking bank. They're still getting our money. They're holding our money. Pay attention. Look at things for what it really is, and don't let them keep taking you down all these roads like in New York when the cab driver drive you all the way around, so just so he can run up the meter. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what this is. They taking you around and around, and all this money is still going to the same goddamn families that own all the central banks and the same corporations that invest their money in these central banks and the same corporations that own these businesses that's getting these breaks. It's a few of us that own it, but it's the same money. It's the same people who got the tax breaks. Me and you, even the supervisor at your job that make 100,000 a year, he's not getting treated fair. You still working for the main companies, these main corporations. So the money is still going back to them, no matter how they reword it. They're giving. The small business is getting 350 billion and they can't. Why do we need to borrow money Why not give every American 5 or 10,000 so we can get started and really boost the economy? Because they want slaves. They want you to not have nothing. They don't want Americans to have nothing. And they got the totem pole. You got the good white Americans at the top making the money that keep the racism going, a few blacks. Then you got the immigrants that come in and get the rest of the all of the good jobs that well, get more better jobs and better opportunities than the black, and they get the good money. And then you got the so-called immigrants that get what the Indians or whatever benefits they got. Basically, I'm getting to everybody gets benefits but us black people. But everybody is being fucked by the system. Everybody is just in a better position, but it's all being controlled by the same families that are not even in America. They're all over the world banks. They're all over the world. They're the ones that own everything. They're leaders of China and Japan and the people who are controlling everything. I mean, they're running. Well, I can't say. I guess with Italy and Europe and them, in Canada, they're taking care of their people. So I guess it's a white American problem, because it's white Americans that's ruling us in the White House. It's white Americans that always write the rules and stuff. And I mean, you got a few blacks, but even if they wanted to stand up, they wouldn't have the power to go against it. So all of this is white Americans that is playing the rest of the white Americans, black Americans, yellow Americans, or whatever you want to call yourself. We're all being played is what I'm getting to. We are all being played. They got all our money, no matter how little your check is, and no matter how big your check is, you're all putting in tax money, and they're robbing us all blind and giving it back to each other, no matter how much they write it up. Because the only way that you definitely getting something as an American is when they fucking write it down like they wrote it down. Every American will receive a direct deposit of up to $1,200, up to $1,200. That same thing could be every American receive 10,000 or whatever dollars to boost this economy and start your own businesses or do whatever. They don't want us to start our own businesses. They don't want anyone free. They want everybody to continue to get everything they need from the same corporations, so the same corporations can run America the way they have been running it, and that's into the ground. Again, shout out to Fly Nubian Queen for melanated women like me and you. Subscribe to Fly Nubian Queen. Hit the notification bell. Like us. Hit the notification bell on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. Shopfnq.com. Shopfnq.com. Support. Text Queens to 31996. Again, shout out to Fly Nubian Queen for melanated women like me and you. Okay? And like I'm telling you, look at this, people. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that we are constantly repeating history over and over again. We're living in a slave system over and over again. We're trying to create programs, and it's like we as American people are always creating programs trying to get America to be a American place for everybody. But I'm realizing it's not the people. It's the people that rule us. And until we all, black, white, and everybody in America, start seeing the strings that is being pulled by us from the puppets above, we will always get fucked over no matter how much we think we're getting over. Yes, we know the 90% of the white people are in a comfy place. But those poor whites that struggle with us, they have to speak up. Everybody has to speak up. These people don't want to give you any money because they don't want you to be dependent. They have enough money that they can't even die. They won't even spend before they're dead. And it's greed. It's greed and it's greed and it's greed. It makes no sense to be this greedy. These are the same banks that hold all the money. You got the Federal Reserve that's controlled by all the families that help call themselves controlling the taxpayers' money in America. Let's stop calling these entities like they're not people. They made corporations where a corporation is now a person, an entity. But let's look at reality. Who is controlling this? Where is the money going, people? Black, white, wherever. Where is the money really going? When they say the money is going to hospitals and banks, who owns those hospitals and banks? Let's trace the money. It's the same people that got the tax breaks. And it's me and you every day thinking we're chasing an American dream. Some of us get lucky, but there's millions of Americans left behind in different categories, struggling in different categories like blacks and the immigrants and the poor whites. That we're struggling in different categories, and we think that this is the way it should be, and it's all because strings are being pulled by the elites that want to keep their comfy places. They don't care to share. Look at the man. Look at what Trump just said about the mass in the hospital. He don't believe they need that many ventilators. Who are they, God? Who are they? They think their money makes them God, that they could predict the future. Even if you didn't, why don't they care to be safe? Why don't they just make sure that their American people are safe anyway and get the fucking ventilators? Get the mask. Why are we having these type of conversations and we say that we are a free country? And why are we arguing about nurses needing protective gear? People need to be shut up in their house to get this virus under control. People need to get paid, compensated without having to get borrow their own tax money from the government. Why the fuck are we? Why? Why are we acting like this shit is normal? And then those that benefit, like I seen a video, I think it was Plies, he was saying that like the only people that can afford to stay closed in and to shut in is the rich people. And they're the ones that's getting the money. Even if you come out to shut in, $1,000, $1,200 won't even pay your light bill, rent, or get you something to eat, or your car note. At least be reasonable with Americans and give us something that will pay all our bills for at least 2 months. We shouldn't have to scrap and fight with each other. Like small businesses shouldn't have to compete with each other for things that we all need. Like, I mean, they're giving money, they're robbing us in our face every time, especially people like me and you. Every time these people pass a bill, we know that none of the money will never reach us. And if it does, they're going to find a way to take it back out. When are we ever going to really be able to be free in America, when we realize the game that's being played? Listen to where the rest of the money is going to. Small businesses, $350 billion dedicated to prevent layoffs, this and that. I mean, the unemployment, the program, $250 billion is extended to unemployment insurance. It's the same banks. How is it fucking unemployment insurance? The insurance companies are making more money off of they're owned by the same people. The insurance companies, the banks, the Federal Reserve, these are all the fucking same peoples. I mean, the hospital, they get $140 billion. And when you and me work in the hospital, what does that mean? Are you going to get a raise? They should have already had equipment. You shouldn't have to give the hospital shit that they should already have, like protective PPE, personal protective equipment. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to already now just give them this. And I understand where hospital bills, if we had healthcare like everybody else, the hospital wouldn't have bills. People stop letting them make you look at the problems, not without looking at what is really causing the problem, and that is them not trying to fix America all at one time. They're giving you a little piece of here. They're patching America. That's what these people do. They put patches on America and wonder why it leaks. It's time to wake up, people. This video is for black, white, Chinese, whatever in America. And if you're rich and you know that they're ripping American people off, this video is for you to say something too. This is ridiculous. This trillions and trillions of dollars is being funded through. How many people are in America? They have enough where they can give Americans, everyone, no matter what amount of money, except for $1 billion, unless you got millions. Everybody who works the restaurants at these corporations, the hospitals, every day, all those of us that run into each other at the gas station each day, the gas station workers, the CNAs, you know, the people who fry the chicken, the hamburger workers, the people who washing cars, you know, all of us who run America, who make America what it is every day, should get more than $1,000. We should be getting 10,000 plus. We should not have to beg for our own money that they got from our taxes, and we shouldn't be have to borrow our own money back. How many times are we going to keep feeding the rich? Are you hungry? I am, because I'm tired of feeding the rich. They have everything. This goes to their families, and their families own these businesses. If you trace it back, they're all connected. Why are we letting them play this paper game with us? It is ridiculous. We're being robbed again, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sick of America. And you can't help it. You know that these jobs they get together, they're really not don't have to take taxes out your check. But because they all band together and stick together, they make it where you don't, if you don't get a job, you if you don't let them, if you don't sign them papers for them to take taxes out your check, they won't give you a job. But if you contract, you don't have to do that. You control your own taxes. They don't have to do that, but they do it so they can keep feeding the system. The system wants to track every dime you have so they can they can find a way where they can keep living forever for free. Even if you are a white manager making 200,000 a year, you're still a slave. You're just a slave master in the slave. You're just hopping about like off of life in a slave plantation. You just got a better position on the slave plantation. And if we all want slavery to end, it doesn't mean you're going to be giving up luxuries. That means you're going to be sharing them. And this is not sharing. This stimulus package is not helping us. They have money. They wouldn't even give black people reparations because they said they didn't have the money, but yet they can pull trillions out all the time. They got trillions for war. They got trillions for when they want it, but not to help American people. Not the veterans, not the CNAs, not the nurses, not the doctors, not the sewer workers, not the garbage workers, not the restaurant workers, not the farmers, the people like me and you every day. And we argue with each other every day. We put each other down every day. It goes from the whole America putting each other down to it's broke down to races. Then the whites pick on the blacks pick on each other, the other ones pick on. We are playing this. We let them play this game, and they sit back eating and living a lovely life without being involved in America. They throw the scraps out there and watch us fight for it. And then when it comes down to this paperwork, we're gonna have to jump hurdles and hoops and go through hoops and hurdles just to prove that we can get it. It should be, even if we can get it, our birth certificate in America should be suffice. But that's not enough for these greedy motherfuckers. They want to make sure how much did you make? It's not enough that you are an American and that you contribute to America. That's not enough. That should show you they are fake with this American, we are all American bullshit. This stimulus package is not helping nobody but them. So they don't have to pay the hospitals. So they don't have to pay the businesses. So they took our tax money once again, gave it back in another form, and then telling you they helping you. And then they give you a little bit of money so you can have enough gas to get back to work and enough gas to put a little bit of crumbs in your stomach, and so you could get back on a slave plantation. But not enough so you could be a self-sufficient American to find the American dream. Stop letting them play us. I'm so pissed with this stimulus package, and you should be pissed too. I mean, I know I'm being robbed. It's like we don't look at the reality unless it's at our door. In our minds, the only time we're being robbed is if somebody comes in our house and takes something that we personally put our hands on. We don't see that we're being robbed of our energy, our livelihood, and we don't see that we're being robbed every day by working all these extraneous hours and trying to pay this inflation that is still the same banks. Who's inflation? Who's bringing up inflation? The people who own the bank is the ones who want the money. They're the ones who saying it's not enough. If CEOs can give up their salaries, these banks can give up some of these fucking interest. They put interest on the house, they put interest on the cars, they put interest. We paying taxes in the city, we paying taxes in the grocery store, we paying taxes when we buy clothes. Where's all this money going to? We paying taxes when we work, we pay taxes when we eat. It's all your money. You are basically a slave, and you're being robbed, and you don't realize it because you won't sit down and do that little maze thing. Do the, like the maze where you have to trace it to the beginning. Trace all this money and everything to the beginning. Understand when they say we giving it to the insurance company, who owns it? Who the fuck? What family own it? How long they family been around? What bank? Do they family related to some family that own a bank? You know, then they talking about the airlines is going to receive 50 billion of the 500 billion for passenger air carriers and 8 billion for cargo carriers. It's still the airlines. Who owns the airlines? You know what I'm saying? Payroll taxes for individual delays of payment. So they don't got to use their money like me and you would have to do with our struggling businesses. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to go through credit checks and stuff no more, even though they robbed us. So basically, they get the bail. They ain't got to basically put their money up front for shit. They putting our tax money up, and they banking on our bodies to go back to work to pay back the money they just robbed from us. State and local governments will get 150 billion with 8 billion set aside for tribal governments. That's what I meant earlier when I was saying, like, you know, you got your different immigrants, you got your tribes that get their portion. Everybody gets a little bit of something in America on paperwork, except for black people. We just get what everybody else gets. We piggyback with everybody else. We never got our own checks or reparations to start over. We only got oppression, we got bad credit, and we get to piggyback, we get to go to work, but we never got anything. When people say, oh, I don't want anything to start off, we need something to start off, because when I don't want the money, give me good credit and I can go and I don't have to jump through hurdles to start my business like these white businesses do. But all this money goes back to them. All of it. Agriculture. Deal with the increase of agriculture department and can spend on its bailout program 30 billion to 50 billion. You know, they're going to vote on this bill, and it's a bullshit bill because they put you at the top, and then they know that it's not normal to see our government ever do anything for us. So that's why it's like, oh my God, they're giving us $1,000. No, they need to be giving us more than $1,000. I don't drop my basket. They need to be giving us more than $1,000. Okay, they need to be giving us a lot more than $1,000. We over here, we're at risk every day, still they're still wanting us to go to work for this coronavirus. I'm in here doing crafts, so if you hear a bunch of stuff, but they want us to go to work and they don't care if you catch it. They don't even got no protective gear. They just look at how slavery is. If you die, they got your children. And if you're old, if you got children old, they got the grandchildren. They don't give a damn. They'll teach a 12-year-old. They run the pedophile ring. They don't give a damn. Children is expendable to them. If they get rid of the older people, then it's easier to control the children who don't have nobody to make them remember their history or let them understand what America has been doing. Wake up, people. All of us need to wake up. This stimulus bill is bullshit once again. But hey, I don't know why we know America treats black people bad. We know it's racism. We know the government robs us. We know the Democrats and the Republicans are both both two heads of a same snake. I don't understand why we do this song and dance as Americans all the time. And we like I said, we build so many programs, whether it's programs to stop domestic violence, to stop racism, to stop the government from arresting people or stopping frisk. Look at all the stuff Americans are coming up with. But why do we have to tell our own government what to do? Why do we have to tell our own government to act like a government? If we are a first world country, why are we treated like a third world country? Why do we ignore what is in front of us? And then we keep running a race that we know that only some of us is going to win unless all of us band together and say something. Why do we keep allowing it? I just don't get it. I mean, I guess when people they play loyalty, when our people join the military, they know that they got people that will turn guns on us. But maybe if we all came together as Americans and say, look, if America was built for Americans, we need to basically rectify everything that was wrongly done to Americans and take care of Americans. Period. My stuff's still falling. But again, shout out to Fly Nubian Queens for melanated women like me and you. Okay, text Queens to 31996. Hit the notification bell on YouTube. Share, share, share. Support, support, support. Trace the money, trace the money, trace the money. Ask questions. Think, people. Peace.